The pressure seems to be getting to white nationalist Congressman Steve King. The Iowa Republican has found himself in a real race by all indications, as the nation has learned more about his nationalist rhetoric and support for far-right extremists. After one poll showed Democrat J.D. Scholten trailing King by just a single point in the very, very red district, Scholten reportedly raised more than $641,000 on Tuesday and Wednesday alone. Two prominent Republicans disavowed King this week, and three companies said they would no longer provide him some financial support. Tomorrow, King will run his first television ad of the cycle, a de facto acknowledgement that he is in danger, in a district that Donald Trump carried by 27 points. At a candidate forum today, King absolutely exploded when constituent Caleb Von Fossen asked how King's beliefs differ from those of the Pittsburgh synagogue shooter.
This Saturday, there was a shooting at a synagogue in Pittsburgh that tragically left 11 people dead. And the terrorist who committed this crime, he was quoted as saying, "They bring invaders in that kill our people. I can't sit back and watch our people get slaughtered." You, Steve King, have been quoted as saying, "We can't restore our civilization with other people's babies." You and the shooter both share an ideology that is...
No, don't you do that. Do not associate me with that shooter. I knew you were an ambusher when you walked in the room, but there's no basis for that, and you get no question and you get no answer. No, you're done. We don't play these games here in Iowa. No, you're done. You crossed the line. It's not tolerable to accuse me to be associated with a guy that shot 11 people in Pittsburgh. I am a person who has stood with Israel from the beginning. The length of that nation is the length of my life. And I've been with them all along, and I will not answer your question, and I'll not listen to another word from you. And this is over if he keeps talking. This is over if you don't stop talking. I'm leaving.
I think he's given his answer. I think that his answer is his answer. Yes, please. Sir?
Stop it.
Sir, why did you meet with the white supremacists?
Sir, that's it.
You're done. I would ask whoever is guarding this door to lead this man out of the room.
And joining me now, that constituent that Steve King kicked out, Caleb Van Fossen, who's a student at Iowa State University, member of the group Iowa CCI Action. I should know we once again asked Congressman King to come on the show tonight, and once again we got no response. Caleb, why'd you do this?
The reason I did this is because this Saturday in Pittsburgh, there is a tragic shooting that left 11 people dead. And the ideology of the murderer who committed this act was the same bigoted white supremacist ideology that Steve King constantly espouses.
He says it's unfair to link him, that man's a criminal and he's a murderer, and Steve King is just a member of Congress who has never committed a crime and is just espousing his belief for America. What do you say to that?
Well, him and Steve King and the shooter both share this core belief that American or Western culture, which is basically white culture in Steve King's mind, is under attack by this foreign enemy. And they've both talked and espoused ideas about white genocide and the Great Replacement. So if you look at King's rhetoric and you compare it to the shooters, it's very much in line, and it's clear they both share.
He said he seemed to think that you are an Iowan, is that correct?
Oh, absolutely. I live in his district.
Yeah, and he seemed to think that you're somehow not from the district. He said, this is not how we do this in Iowa. And it made me wonder, a lot of people watch Steve King from outside that district and they think, well, is that the belief system of the folks in that district? You're in that district. What would you say?
No, absolutely not. I mean, typically Iowa people have good values. Iowans care about each other. They want to live in a community where people look out for each other and people aren't building these lines of us versus them. And this just isn't the Iowa I know. Steve King may have been elected, but he doesn't represent your everyday Iowan.
He has a real race, it seems, on his hands, and it doesn't seem like he's been doing a lot of these events. This was a candidate forum, and where was it?
Oh, yeah, it was a candidate forum. I paid $15 for the ticket. And you're right, he hasn't been doing a lot of these events. I actually traveled 4 hours away this Saturday to talk to him at another event. And as soon as I walked up and tried to shake his hand, he immediately walked up, had his son come up and kick me out of the venue.
Wait, this is before you asked this question or after you'd asked this question?
This was before. This is Saturday. So this is my second time trying to talk to Steve King.
Hence his suspicion that you were an ambusher.
No, not at all. I'm one of his constituents, and I had a sincere question that I wanted to talk to him about.
Believe me,
as someone
agree.
he's supposed to represent.
All right. Are there people in your campus, for instance, there at Iowa State University in Ames, Iowa, in the district that Steve King represents, are talking about this race?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And one thing I want to point out, though, is that Steve King is a person who traveled on a plane across the globe to Austria to talk to white supremacists, but he won't talk to his own constituents here in his district.
That seems to be one of the things that is hurting him right now as he nears Election Day. We'll see what happens. Caleb Van Fossen, thanks for being with me tonight. Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me, or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.